Well, the prosecutors got caught of forgery. Ha! I knew those guys were assholes, but geez, to think they'd break the law. Oh, the irony in this case really is extremely compelling.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said.
Yeah, don't worry, I was just going over that. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. Yep. Well, anyway, welcome back, everybody. Tomorrow, let's play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. This is your host, the MJ406.
I didn't know. I didn't know if the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings.
Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me.
I don't want Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me.
What do you mean, what happened to you?
It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence.
What did you have to do with those killings, Emma?
My Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. Joe Dark tried to kill me.
What? He tried to kill you? Oh, shit.
Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me.
Oh, I see. So that means you...
Yes, I was a witness of the Joe Dark trial.
I didn't see that one coming. I mean, you saw it on the record. Well, we better get down to the bottom of this incident and figure out what really happened.
Yeah, but 2 years ago, it was right about this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office.
Joe Dark.
It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up.
Jake Marshall's brother.
Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then...
What happened?
I'll never forget it. Lightning struck, and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant.
How dramatic.
I saw then permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now.
A permanent picture? Interesting to know.
I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall.
So you weren't able to testify about that?
No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime.
Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence?
The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Well, forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it.
Edgeworth?
Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, it's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened.
So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence.
After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today.
She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. Well, yeah, you broke the law, and you're the leader of the law with Jesus. Seriously. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred? Please? You know, this is actually very traumatizing for this ass. Why am I doing this?
Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife.
Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. Oh my God!
I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently, I passed out.
I wonder why. It's like you had to witness somebody being stabbed. I'm surprised you didn't puke first.
When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms.
Poor Emma. You've been through so much. And just as a teenager, that's gotta be really brutal for one's psyche. Ugh.
I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant.
As you said.
I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good.
2 years ago. You must have been 14. That's understandable. Oh. Yikes. I feel bad for her. I really do.
Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make it an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any.
I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. What is that? I'm wondering now. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma.
What is it?
You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right?
That's right.
Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, he was being chased by a prosecutor?
Oh, there's no mystery there.
I would like to know why.
Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day.
Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police?
Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office.
But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office?
Because the detective offices of the questioning room are right across from the elevator.
Across from the elevator? Alana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she?
No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force.
What? That's news to me.
After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor.
Lana used to be a detective? I'd better have another talk with her. Thank you for that, Emma. Well, let's go talk to her immediately then. We may as well. Need to get everything I can out of her. So, you want to tell her what actually happened now?
Oh, Lana!
Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we?
But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty.
Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you.
Oh?
About how you were a detective 2 years ago, and how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. Damn right I do! You're a freaking lawyer! Help! Help! I don't know what I'm doing anymore! A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be.
That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it?
Nope.
I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth.
It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department.
Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us?
Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so fazed before. Seeing her sister so stressed out like this, I could only imagine. It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago.
She was amazing.
Ah, her and gone.
Still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gaunt cracked together.
Chief Gaunt? He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gaunt. He was everything I aspired to be.
They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed.
Wow, Emma really idolized her big sister. Now I see why. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was...
Get experience investigating crime scenes so you could use that experience in court, right?
Gaunt's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. Why exactly went to forged evidence? 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gaunt, right? Yes. Deputy Chief Gaunt and I share the same office, and the same investigations. We even have the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. That would be the 3 that did the main case. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. I can believe that for sure. Without doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. I tried to murder Emma.
Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark.
You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Oh, now you tell us! That's really helpful to know what you're the first one to see. Damon Gaunt and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. so he waited until Gaunt and Marshall let their guards down, and then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gaunt and myself.
That's where he found me!
So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana?
It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gaunt and Marshall were questioning Dark.
Oh, God! What a scene to run into. When I turned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seemed Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do?
To be honest, I panicked.
Of course.
I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her.
Can't blame her. After all her sister must have gone through. Nearly getting murdered. My God.
After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest.
Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident?
That's right. Quite a coincidence,
I don't buy it.
What are you saying?
There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident just by chance.
But that case was solved 2 years ago!
At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved.
Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely.
That makes sense.
I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark.
Not since his brother was killed.
Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories.
That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark in the police department, right?
Yes, in the office that Damon Gaunt and I shared. The office that Mr. Gaunt now occupies by himself. The Chief's office.
Maybe we should have a look at the Chief's office. The site of the final SL9 murder. Good idea. I'm gonna head down there right now. I mean, what better to do than that, right? I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere.
Things seem kind of quiet around here today.
You're right. Chief Detective seems the same, though.
Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to?
Right. We can come back here later. Yeah, we can come back later. Why not? See if anybody's hanging around at the police department. May as well check that first. Oh, right, Marshall. Howdy, Bambina.
Oh, Mr. Marshall.
I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Yes, sir. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning.
Billy?
Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner.
Now, Mr. Marshall, why'd you do it?
Why do prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Oh, come on. I'm sure Angel will look out for you. She clearly did yesterday during the investigation. She'll find a way. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean, fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's after all, right? But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised.
A question?
The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there is a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. Oh, damn. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? Probably. That case left behind scars on all of us.
The scars that the SL9 incident left behind.
Yeah, I can imagine. A lot of close people died. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together.
How old was he? Your brother?
He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the King of Prosecutors? I knew it! What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother.
The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as...
That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal. Of course it was. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. Yeah, so the real person must be responsible for that, too. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Oh, you mean you and Angel, right? Miss Star was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They?
Who are you talking about?
Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gaunt and Lana Sky. Oh, right, they were the executive investigators. They're both in on something, that's for sure. The investigation lead, Damon Gaunt, and his second command, Lana Sky. They were a great pair, like I've heard. There was a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah, Damon Gaunt, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left.
Huh?
Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too.
Tell me, what happened to my sister?
Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago. Right at the time of that incident being solved. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. That's true. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gaunt. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. There we go, enjoying his last swig of alcohol, or whatever that is. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Bye, Officer Marshall. Patrolman Marshall. Thanks for giving us the lowdown on that. So Damon Gaunt's the one responsible for that forged evidence, huh? This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted.
That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes.
Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us. The chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial. There's more chaos going on Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually used for those.
Sir, we'd like to have a look at Chief Gaunt's office.
Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor.
Really? I mean, it's okay for us to go in there. I mean, we're not police officers or anything.
Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm.
What are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office.
Since apparently with grand permission. Why not? We do need to look into Gaunt. He's really the only one we don't know everything about. Whoa. I'm all for exquisite tastes in offices and stuff, but in Oregon? Whoa. Where am I?
In the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door.
Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it?
Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. He used to call me Little Miss Bach.
Little Miss Bach?
I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes.
Ah, Jesus. You really think that was a good idea to do that, Emma?
I never could remember where C was.
Oh, God, we got caught by Gaunt immediately. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gaunt. Well, he put that paper he was reading in his desk. So, Righto, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full, too, with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. Right. See that big picture on the wall over there? I see it. Ooh. That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. So this is Miss Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. Someone's not right with this picture. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it, though. I kind of see it, I think. But let's have memory of that picture, because that can be useful later. Thank you, Mr. Gaunt. Uh-oh. I feel intimidated now. Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together.
Oh, but this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore. All the same, we'd still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Oh man, he really does have an intimidating presence.
Looks like we aren't welcome.
It seems that case isn't over with yet after all.
What do you mean?
Chief Gaunt denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there.
You mean like a clue?
There's gotta be a way we can get inside the chief's office. We'll have to look at that later, though. For now, I kinda wanna go look at that King of Prosecutors trophy again. Why not? No one's here today, not even Miss Star.
Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are.
We proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m.
Yeah, I thought we were going to make some headway on our case.
But instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang
in there, Lana.
I gotta find all the answers by tomorrow. Let me go see if Edgeworth is in. May as well.
Mr. Edgeworth isn't here.
Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee? He took a real beating in court today.
Yeah, with Lana married to falsifying evidence 2 years ago.
I guess we'll just have to come back later. I guess he's not here. Well, ain't that a shame. Okay. Well, maybe there's somebody else I can talk to. Let me go back to my office for a bit. Nope, nothing here. Here I thought I'd figure something out. Let me see if she knows something about this. Maybe that would be a good place to start. Attorneys and prosecutors have no business showing evidence outside court. It's taboo, especially when the interests of both parties are involved. Wow, she really means it.
Lana?
She is chief prosecutor. Fine, bitch. Damn. I'll go back to the Criminal Affairs Department. Aha, there we go. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe. Aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt. Of course.
From sitting so long?
Actually, we're serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. Sounds like the battle's between you two in court. That sounds serious.
Is it because of what my sister said?
That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood.
Yikes!
Well, he is basically seen as the representative of the prosecutors, and doing that would hurt everybody involved. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye's the guilty party here, isn't she? Sorry, but it's the truth. Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there've been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who don't like him. Understandable, but now with this...
Are there really so many people who hate him?
In our world, only those who with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know for making enemies. Hey, Dick, keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Let's go have my lunch again sometime, my treat. Yes, sir. You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir. Seems you don't have any problem with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Yeah, well, he's being blamed for everything that he didn't do, kind of. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing. He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything? The only evidence Stark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl? All right, the final stabbing.
Whee!
Seems like Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all.
Well, what was it?
Oh, let's see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon. I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? His powers of recollection never fail to impress.
Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory.
Yeah, before we do that,
Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman.
a businessman? What made him take the serial killing?
One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car.
With his car? So, it was an accident.
An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal.
An animal?
He killed a man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed a lady who saw the second crime. A kid walked by just then. She killed him and somebody else. John came upon as he was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in.
God damn, I hate when the text auto scrolls like that. Seems he was a pretty careless animal.
Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence.
So he turned himself in.
Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim, Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed.
That last witness, aka Emma. You know, you are kind of, I won't say heartless, but ignorant in your discussions with things like this. Let's go with a murder weapon. That should help. Oh, where is it? The switchblade. Oh, there it is. I forgot I got that earlier. About this.
Hey, is that...
It has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of.
What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker.
On the day Detective Governor was murdered, the son disappeared from the locker. It was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler.
That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me.
Well, what was it, Detective? Quick, before we forget again.
It's nice to know that Dick Gumshoe can actually be very helpful for a lot of things like this. Finally, we're getting somewhere. This knife, it was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? Right?
That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at. Plus, it had his fingerprints on it, too.
But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right?
That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken.
You don't have to take a good look to notice that.
Yeah, well, anyway, then guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found? That's what did him in.
Where was it?
The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body.
Huh, it broke in him.
It was found deep inside the stab wound.
Did it match Dark's knife?
You bet, down to the last fiber.
That's pretty conclusive.
Yeah, that does make it sound like Marshall got stabbed with that pretty hard. Good to know.
Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know.
Can I ask you one more thing?
What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Cox.
It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered.
Chief's out now, and his office is locked, but we'd like to have a look around if that's okay.
Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door.
What? Really?
But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust.
Breach of trust?
Simply put, I'd be canned.
Oh,
Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you.
Now this ID card, it was Detective Goodman's.
That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died.
makes sense.
Oh.
So, in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office.
Wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind.
We could try. Like, maybe? Let's give this a try.
I'm sure a little advice of you as a detective. If you don't have a clue, keep your trap shut.
I'll, keep that in mind.
Sheesh.
Sorry, fine. Have fun doing whatever it is you do, Gumshoe. Jeez. Not like you're doing anything else right now. Alright. I need to show him something, huh? It wasn't the picture. What could it be, then? Oh, somebody's in here now. I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet.
There he is. It looks like he's writing something.
What are you doing here?
Huh, he sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh?
I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation of me?
Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm rooting for you.
That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings.
So, what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day.
That's true, but... Let me pick up that paper since you happened to throw it on the ground. I wonder what he was writing before.
Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look.
Wait, crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there.
Just Let's distract him. I'll check it out.
Hey, Edgeworth! Is that the gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground!
Hold on. First, let me see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet.
He didn't even look.
What?
If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says, letter of resignation.
Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean...
I'm tired, Wright. I feel as if something inside me has died.
Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault.
I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either.
Uh-oh. I think he's serious.
Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something.
This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. I think I know what to use it for. But for now, let's get some more information out of Edgeworth here.
There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I do can erase that fact.
But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that the evidence was falsified.
The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility as prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same, no matter what excuses I might have.
Mr. Edgeworth.
I take pride in my work, so tell me why. Why has it all come to this?
Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Damn. Let's go over more of this. Are you up for the trial tomorrow?
First last year's trial, and now this one. Seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves.
Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial.
Tomorrow's the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this.
What do you mean?
The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long.
It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd.
After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence that I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time.
Say, I just saw a picture taken around that time.
That picture? Something seems strange about it. I think I see what it is. Let's talk to him a little more first, though. Can you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered? You were participating in a ceremony over the station, right?
I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one.
Because you were awarded this?
Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department.
You finished up at the office?
Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back.
Take something back?
This.
Oh yeah, Chief Gunn asked you to hold on to that, didn't he?
Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office.
That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to?
That's right.
Interesting. Well, anyway, let's show him this picture, see if he has anything to say about it. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gott's office of Mr. Neil Marshall and the others.
Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy.
Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me.
Yes?
The trophy Mr. Marshall's holding, it's a little different than yours.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
There seems to be a sword missing?
Oh, I remember now.
Remember what?
That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design.
A story?
Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us?
It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on.
Contradiction, huh? That's an odd thing to base it off, but alright. Sure.
This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story?
Me? Oh, sure. Everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though, for Emma's sake?
Very well, you idiot.
Damn it, he knows. Or maybe not. Oh, what is this? What is this? A friggin' cross-examination now?
Long ago, in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon.
Wait a minute!
Objection!
What the hell? Those claims contradict each other!
Very perceptive. Then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless, and thus, the Chinese word for contradiction was born.
Interesting.
Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize.
Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today.
That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield?
You'll have to ask Chief Gaunt. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished.
Chief Gaunt. Why did he abolish it? That's weird. Before we leave, let me go over one more thing with you. This.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire. Apparently, I was so caught up in the smoke, I lost sight of the truth.
Edgeworth.
The others are right. I have no right to serve as a prosecutor.
Mr. Edgeworth, you were only doing your job.
I've always made my own decisions about what I can do or cannot do. That hasn't changed. Forgiving myself is something I cannot do.
Uh-oh. I think he's serious.
Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something.
It's not a resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. Well, thanks, Edgeworth, but I've got to be going now. I think somebody may really want to see this. Oh, God, something else came up.
Excuse me?
Oh, Miss Starr, you're back again. Oh, God.
Would either of you care for a quarter-pound of roast beef?
Miss Starr! I guess she's out of lunches.
You certainly are the curious, soft sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago.
One of those trials involved the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence for that case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to mere coincidence.
Aren't you forgetting something? You know that little scene I happened to witness?
Right. The incident Lana stabbed Detective Gooden with a knife.
No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten.
Miss Starr's hatred toward Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. I better really ask her about it, too. May as well get everybody's take on it.
Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget.
Yeah, he was a murderer you investigated. I would hope not.
We trailed him for half a year.
Oh, the pressure!
Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though. Must have been going through hell.
You mean because of his brother's death?
They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate.
Her?
Lana Skye. My sister? The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by the legendary duo.
Right.
Lana and Chief Gaunt.
Of course. I found out more about their hangouts together as well. Or they're working on cases together.
Hunter Repair is the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out.
You mean with the forging of the evidence?
Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret. But you don't have proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened.
Right, she did get fired.
After that case, all of us save good were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Well, I always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter.
She was being used? You're talking about Gaunt, aren't you? I'm really starting to get the feeling he's hiding something huge.
Damon Gaunt and Lana Skye.
They were amazing, right?
Gaunt led the investigation, and Lana second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gaunt's magnetism in particular was almost unreal.
His magnetism?
Now that means his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled.
Incredible evidence? You mean...
Oh, yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though.
I take it she's talking about forged evidence.
Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her.
Really?
Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake.
Mr. Marshall.
When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating.
The star.
That's why. I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that?
Yeah, that's a fair point. Could have opened up to somebody, I guess. Maybe. Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she?
Yes, thanks to Chief Gaunt's power influence.
Chief.
That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way.
One more thing?
The prosecutor's office.
What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred?
If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along.
But how can he control Lana?
I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude. There must have been a reason for her change.
At last. I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Star.
You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been.
A better chef. Maybe there's something more I can show her. See if anything else.
I don't have anything else to tell you.
The star.
The only thing I can give you now is a poppy seed rice set.
Talk about cheap.
Eat this and maybe you'll be able to tell black from white in court tomorrow.
You don't have anything to say about Jake Marshall or the case file or anything? I guess not. Still, she gave us a revelation here. So yeah, there's nothing else to learn from her. So, Gaunt is definitely taking advantage of everybody, huh? That's what she believes, and well, I may as well believe her too. Huh, where's Gumshoe?
Oh, you're back!
You're still here?
I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ!
You're a DJ as well?
If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey.
Oh, that DJ!
I didn't even know that was a way to refer to DJ.
I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer's still no. I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. It'd be my neck on the line.
The office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there.
There's gotta be something we can do to make the detective change his mind.
You're right. We've already talked about everything, so all that's left. Hey, you know your buddy Edgeworth is getting ready to retire, right?
What's this crumpled up piece of paper?
Go ahead, read it. Go ahead.
No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious!
Is he ever not serious?
I can't believe they pushed him this far!
Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible.
When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice, too. But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him.
Detective.
Or Gumshoe.
That's it. I've made up my mind.
But
Here, take my ID card.
We can't do that. If someone found out,
they wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report.
Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated.
what?
So at least let me do this, for Mr. Edgeworth's sake.
All right, detective. Thank you. All right, we got Gumshoe on our side. Officially. Well, let's do this, baby. Time to investigate the final scene of the crime. It's about damn time we get to the bottom of this and find out what Gaunt's been hiding. I'm starting to figure out who the murderer might really be. Whether it relates to our case or not, that was a whole other issue.
Here goes, Mr. Wright.
Click. All right. And in we are. Well, well, well. That jam pipe organ. So huge.
We're in. Everyone finds us now.
Detective Gumshoe's a goner.
If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out.
Eek!
Ah!
Ha! She slapped you again. You're so friggin'... See? Oh.
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
Again?
I didn't even know you could slap a ghost.
Ah! Detective Gumshoe! What are you doing sneaking up on us like that?
I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too.
You're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? Take take that!
Hey, don't do that to my card!
If you're not going to use it, you're going to get fired. What's the point of keeping it anyway? Just saying.
I hardly ever get a chance to come in here, so I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now.
You really do want to get fired, don't you?
Now we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out.
I've got a bad feeling about this. Anything else he has to say on the matter? May as well see if he has any more info for us. That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's? Emma?
Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana on that day 2 years ago.
Is anyone using it now?
No, sir. This is entirely Chief God's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene.
That's a strange reason to leave it there.
He leaves as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time.
I see. He's kind of carefree, admit.
So ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk?
No one except Chief God. And the cleaning lady who's in here each morning.
Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. We can check that out in a sec. First,
Can I ask you something?
sure.
You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it?
Why do you ask?
You don't think... Nah, you and me. No.
Well,
No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
okay. Now then, let's look around a bit more.
Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy.
What is it?
When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go after that.
Sorry. This guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you?
You do don't think Chief God might be a suspect, do you?
What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him?
Chief Gunn. So it's finally come to this. Do we really think you're a suspect? What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings. Yet.
There you go, ignoring me again.
I really don't think it's a good idea to start mentioning it yet. Let's inspect the desk a little more. This is Lana's desk. It sure is tidy.
Lana's always been a meticulous cleaner.
That's not even any dust on it. Looks like someone's still keeping it clean. Does Lana ever come back here?
No. Chief God must still keep it clean in memory of their partnership. They were the stuff legends are made of.
Does he keep it in memory of her or in memory of the crime? I wonder about that too. Now let's relook at the picture.
This was taken on that day 2 years ago.
The day Joe Dark ran out of the questioning room and tried to kill Emma. Everything happens to be so tight in the date for some reason.
After receiving his award trophy, Mr. Marshall took a picture here. Then went along, Chief God questioned Dark. I bet he never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later.
Gee, you think? Anything else around here? These shelves are mostly empty. Lana must have cleaned them out when she transferred over to the prosecutor's office. There's a small picture frame on the left shelf.
Hey! This is when Lana and I went to that theme park.
Oh, wow. Now, I'm curious about something. Mind if I look around a little bit? Because something tells me there might be something... Oh, look at that! Check that out. We found a spill of some kind still on the carpet. Preserving the crime scene, huh?
Whoa! This area must have been covered in blood.
Is this from that incident?
It must be. The prosecutor near Marshall was murdered. Years have passed, so the reaction's kind of dull.
So a murder really did take place here. And he preserved it so much that we can still find the evidence from 2 years ago, huh? That's an odd coincidence. I may as well keep looking around. There might be something more to find. Nope, I guess not. So it's still on the floor. That's interesting. Glad we found that. So let's see. Let me examine the organ.
The Chief's organ sure is a sight to behold. The cases we hear are playing here from the Criminal Affairs Department.
That's on the 2nd floor. And this is the 15th floor of an entirely different building.
When a detective screws up, the Chief calls him to his office and makes him listen to the organ for hours.
What's so bad about that? Music serves the soul.
After that, the detective can't hear anything for days except the ringing in their ears.
So it's an instrument of punishment, literally.
Are the chief's ears affected?
He never listens to anyone anyway.
That's beside the point. Jeez, that sounds oddly suspicious. This is a real deal, isn't it? This armor and these weapons?
Sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations.
First the pipe organ, now this armor. Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room?
What? We were paying for this? That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes.
You don't have any taxes to pay. You're 16.
Be careful what you say. Who knows? The chief may be hiding in this armor as we speak.
I don't think he'd fit in there, no offense.
If he did, he'd never be able to get back out.
Cut it out. You guys don't know how scary that guy could be.
True. We've heard a lot about him being scary.
Wow, look inside King God's desk.
Speaking of that, when we were here earlier...
Oh, it's you two.
Chief Gaunt. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. That's right. I wonder what he was reading.
This looks like a list of evidence.
A list of evidence?
In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this, though.
Hey, look at the case name.
Huh? SL9 incident. I wonder what this is doing here.
Ah, hold on, detective. What'd you just say?
I said, I wonder what...
No, about evidence lists. Normally they're twice as long.
That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence.
A half-size list of evidence.
The list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long.
Yeah, that's right. What will the other half of the list be doing here?
I knew it. The chief must be hiding something about the case.
It would appear so. Ha-ha! Good to know. Now I truly know, let's finally investigate this bad boy back here. This is a safe, isn't it?
Safe. That word's right with intrigue.
Oh, okay, if you say so.
Looks like a code. The code needs to be entered in this panel to open it.
That it does. A 7-digit number. I think I just might know what that is. That's right. Don't forget. On the ID card record, there is still one number missing. It has to be a 7-digit code. So I wonder if it's what I think it is.
Do you know what it is?
I have a hunch.
Oh, I know. You want to try my birthday? It's...
Why would it be your number? Anyway, I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. Here's we'll enter it and see what happens. Let's see if entering this works. And well, if I'm right, it should open. Aha! It worked. So that means I was right. Bingo.
What number did you answer?
Whose birthday was that, pal?
Not a birthday. 7777777. The final ID card number on that record.
What?
The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day.
You mean 7777777? That ID number?
I think you're 1 7 shy this time. This can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gaunt's ID number.
Say, anyone care to look inside?
Yeah, we better do that. So, we learned it was Chief Gaunt after all.
Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away?
Look, it's up.
Huh.
A shard from a broken cup.
This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before?
Something else in here, too.
A rag? What's this? Looks like a piece of leather cloth. Interesting.
This is a handprint, isn't it?
Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, it was just a thought.
Is that it? This is all that was in the safe?
Apparently so. It's empty now.
A piece of cloth with a handprint on it. And a broken shard from a cup.
They look like pieces of evidence.
Yeah, but unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck of the line here.
Great. Now I have to prove their relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SL9 incident? Let's find out.
Come on, there's gotta be something we can show the detective.
Yeah, may as well. So let's present what we think will relate to this evidence. First, with this unstable jar. Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar?
I remember when the three of us put that back together. Ah, those were the days.
It's kind of early to be nostalgic.
Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence for that case?
That's right. One of the jars had SL9 Instant sticker on it.
Does this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found.
You mean this one? That was in the safe?
Yes, that one. That was in the safe.
Oh! Now that you mentioned it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits.
Of course, let's do it. Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this.
Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do.
Mr. Wright, here's a clue.
Thank you. If I can piece this together again, it'll prove Chief Gott was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. So, the last piece is supposedly this. Well, this whole vase together. That looks there's a blood stain on it. There! It fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gott willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident.
What?
Hey, guys! Get a load of this!
What is it?
This piece is just attached. It's different from the others.
Yeah, there's a much bigger blood mark on it. Which... Oh God.
There's a reddish line on it.
A reddish line. That's blood.
I don't get it. Why would Chief Gott hide this in his safe?
Interesting to note. Anyway, there's also the rag. We should probably check for fingerprints. Why not? Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this.
Hey, I know who that is. So, you want to take some fingerprints?
That's a great idea, Detective.
All right, go to town. Jeez.
What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that?
Go ahead. Take my fingerprints.
It's not your fingerprints we want to take.
Huh?
Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe.
Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Jeez, where's your sense of humor?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check your prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Then, once it's been absorbed into the prints, blow the rest away.
What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told a million times. All right, let's get this over with. May as well be your mom. All right, let's test a fingerprint. See if we can get something on this. And well, we can only hope for the best at this point, right? Yeah. Gave it my best shot.
That result will be any good for matching prints, will it?
But it doesn't look like we'll get a clear result from this print.
Okay, let's try a different finger then.
Maybe the middle finger? Either that or this finger. Let's try this one then. Man, it's hard. It sucks when smudges ruin the rest of the print, you know? It's really hard to actually track them down. I know why the police why they always want to keep track of your fingerprints. They never know when they're gonna need them. Damn it! That one too! Alright. In that case, let's try the middle finger. That looks like the clearest print on here other than the thumb. But correct me if I'm wrong though. Would the thumb be any different? I would think so. Hang on, this one's directly vertical, so this one should be the easiest to get something out of, I would think. Oh yeah, we got something out of that one. Alright, so let's see. I got you now. It's not his print though. Who could it be then? It's not Marshall. It doesn't look to be Goodman's. Or Gumshoe's. It's not Lana's, but Emma? Huh. Why is her print seemingly on here? That's her print, all right. The hell? What the hell does that mean? Is she the murderer? No. How could this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here?
Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they?
Huh? Oh, it seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match.
Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints.
Psst. Hey, you, over here.
Yeah, you have fun over there, Emma.
What's going on here? What are that kid's prints doing inside the chief's safe?
Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now.
Here, maybe you should hold on to this.
Thank you. I definitely should.
Well, was I any help?
Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence.
Now, that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right, you in the coat?
Oh, God.
Chief Guard!
Oh, boy. We didn't think you'd be back so soon.
Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog running right into a pole. Just then, I thought of a certain detective.
Ouch.
Do you mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Oh, you in the coat. Me, sir? Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir...
Well, you were caught.
Now get out. Yes, sir!
Damn. We'll be on our way too then.
Wait, you, the one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet.
Me, sir.
I'd like a word with you.
But, sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet.
You with the spiky hair, you're free to go.
Mr. Wright!
Oh, Jesus, what the hell's going on?
Look, pal, if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneak in there like that, didn't you?
I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired.
Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it.
Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gaunt was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. But why had she kept eerily silent about it all this time?
Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal.
Good luck with that. He's a man I believe is very firm on his word. After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. Maybe they found something to talk to her about, like the phone conversation, or near one with Lana. Speaking of Lana, now we have some dirt on Gaunt. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. I've already told you all I can. What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. Finally! Now to actually get her on my side. Finally! I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so, because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No, I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who may I ask is this person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name? That would be Gaunt, my dear lady. Well, Miss Skye? Aha! Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I think she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? May as well. Let her know we really know what's going on. We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course. These are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gaunt's name was never mentioned? Chief Gaunt? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was... me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you. Also one other, Damon Gaunt. So he was number one in command. If you intend to accuse Chief Gaunt, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gaunt falsified evidence in that case. Okay. Here's this. I just found this in a safe in the Chief's office. This jar piece, and this piece of cloth. You know these are the piece of evidence for the SL9 incident. the person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gaunt himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Please.
Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder.
Why not?
Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate.
In the murder of Detective Goodman!
Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate.
So it really was Gaunt, wasn't it?
Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car.
Huh. I see. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman.
Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car.
But just for good measure, she tried to get rid of suspicion from him anyway.
The trunk's lock was broken, and I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body.
The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife?
No. When I found the body, this is the knife stuck in it.
The knife from the SL9 incident! Serial killer Joe Dark's knife!
I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife.
Aha! That would be Edgeworth's knife?
That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand.
And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand?
Yes, it seems I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in.
Miss Starr. Huh. Of course. So she did actually see that properly. Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? I think I know why. But still.
It took a whole lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible.
So, you hid Dark's knife?
That weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that.
So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. And headed through its exhaust pipe.
Right. Then I called my sister to tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler.
What? You asked Emma?
I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this.
She wanted to call her. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence.
Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day.
A bad feeling?
The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gaunt, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall.
To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him?
The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered, and wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least, I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own.
Oh, you mean...
Not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands.
Which is why he ran into Meekins. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence.
He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room.
Aha.
After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared.
So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. Aha! That explains a lot. Well, Lana?
I'm afraid that's all I could tell you.
But Lana!
You've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator.
Thanks.
Now, please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow.
Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything! Everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. Most likely Gaunt, in my mind. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. That bloodstain on the carpet. The hidden evidence. Gaunt is responsible for all of it. He really does seem to be the one to point fingers at for this whole crime situation. Damn you, Gaunt! Oh, Mal. Corruption runs in the entire freaking police force. This sucks. Well, I guess we'll deal with it next time, because another super long investigation's come to an end, but it's the very last one at the very least. So come back next time, and we will finally deal with Chief Gaunt. Probably. And figure out exactly why he did everything he did. I have to guess he's the murderer, otherwise I really don't have any idea who it could be at this point. Come sue!